Thanks for being here with us today. We're chatting with New Heights customer Mary Ellen Pomrenke. We just want to hear her experience in her own words. Every home has a story, and today we get to learn what it was like going through the roofing and siding process with the New Heights team. Hi, Mary Ellen.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So glad you could be here. We all love living in Wisconsin. We're here for a reason. So tell us where you live in Wisconsin and what you love about living there.
Well, Wisconsin is the best state ever, and with the weather the way it is, we really have to take good care of our homes. Our family is located in Neenah, and that's not too far from the Green Bay Packer Stadium, just in case you're a fan. We love Wisconsin. We love all the different types of weather, the different seasons, but we really need to keep a good eye out on our home, make sure that it is trustworthy
Weather
and
ready?
that's the right word, weather ready. Yes, ready for anything, and that's the way the weather is here, and that's what makes it really exciting.
Okay. Well, can you tell me a little bit about your home and what led you to start looking for a new roof and siding before working with New Heights?
Well, our home is 50 years old, so and now that the three children are through college and married and they have their careers. It's about time we get to do some serious remodeling because you would never believe how new this home looks now compared to what it looked like before uh, being 50 years old. So we cannot say enough about how wonderful everything turned out in the end.
Sure. What problems or concerns were you experiencing with your old roofing and siding? Was it just looking old?
Oh, there were things that were falling apart and our wooden siding, it was past time. So we really needed to do some upgrading and we just were concerned about finding the right people to do the job. And I guess that's what bothers me most when I hear horror stories. So we wanted to be very thorough in our investigation and we're so happy that we first found New Heights.
Okay. How did you hear about New Heights Roofing?
I believe it was on or off of Facebook on the internet, and I thought that was, like, the number 1 choice, so that's who we called, and we were so happy, to meet Michael. He was our sales rep. He was very thorough. He wasn't pushy. He just gave us a lot of vital information that we could use, and we were just so happy because he just he made so many suggestions and everything that um everything that he said was like gold to us because it really helped improve the look of the home and just everything about his demeanor was so positive. So we're really, really happy to have met him.
Well, and a lot of people are concerned about the high pressure sales because that does happen a lot in roofing. So I'm glad you had a really good experience with that.
Well, we have had a couple in the past. We owned a home previously in Appleton, and we had a very bad experience with a crew that was not up to quality standards, and it makes such a difference. I think when you have um, a crew that is here to work, they just put their heart and soul into their job. From what I could tell, they were so friendly, and every detail was just covered from the start of the project to the end of the project. And we were so impressed because they were so professional and so friendly. Um, and we just knew that we could trust them from the get go, and it was just a big relief.
That's wonderful. Now, you said you worked with another contractor. What were some of the problems you ran into with the other contractor?
Well, we had a lot of people that were usually on break and not picking up in the yard, that kind of thing. Um, they were not conscientious like the crew that we had from New Heights. They left the work site. There were, you know, cigarette butts
Oh,
in
no.
many places, and there was just more time of smoking, I think, than needed to be. And this, it was just totally different with this crew. They came here as the sun was coming up, so it was impressive, and they just knew exactly what they were doing. They're so professional, and they cleaned up beautifully. And I could tell they replaced boards in our roof. That when we had a roof done here previously, that never happened. So that was the reason why we had some of the problems we did with the roof now. But this crew, they knew what we needed. They replaced the boards and the shingles, and they just worked like clockwork. It was I just I can't say enough about their attention to detail. It was just remarkable. And Joe was the on-site manager, and he was very kind, and he kept asking if we had any questions or concerns, and he was always touching base with us, it was they were just so thoughtful. I was so impressed because in this day and age, you normally don't see that kind of caring. Unfortunately, I just, the workmanship was top notch.
That's so good to hear. They do care about taking good care of homeowners, and I'm glad you can see that in their work ethic for sure.
Absolutely, and that's what you need. You can tell that they're not afraid to work. I grew up on a farm, so I know what a work ethic means.
Yes, you do.
But they had me beat by a long shot because they could work from sunup to sundown, and they were so kind and joined us for a lunch the day before they finished. It was just wonderful. They were so friendly and knowledgeable, and I can't say enough.
Well, that's so good to
So
hear.
happy. We are so happy. We've had so many compliments on this home from our neighbors. I can't tell you how many people have stopped and said, "What happened to your house?" I mean, in a nice way, they said.
That's
Uh,
good.
we're really we're really impressed with the new siding, and Michael helped us with the color and all the details, the trim around the windows and the soffits and all those important things that really add the finishing touches to the
Right.
project.
Right.
So,
What made you choose New Heights instead of other roofing and siding companies?
I think it was just the way we got the information about the company, um, just getting to know Michael, and I guess that was, those first impressions are really, like, priceless, and, it's just we had a real good feeling about just everything, and, they weren't trying to oversell us, they weren't trying to push anything on us. It was it was just very, very comfortable. So, they treated us like family, and I just ca I just can't say enough. So, I would encourage anyone and everyone to give them a chance because you will not be disappointed.
What was your experience like working with New Heights team from the first consultation to scheduling through the completed project?
It was seamless. I hope that's the right word. I mean, it was smooth. Everything seemed to flow, and the project manager on site all the time, and he was just there for us if we had any concerns, and really there were no, glitches. There were no hangups. It was, these men really know what they're doing, so I just their workmanship was fabulous, just fabulous.
Okay. How was it even scheduling getting your appointment scheduled? How did that go for you?
Oh, Michael was here, I think, the first Saturday. Uh, he was here in the morning and ready to go, and not any we just didn't have a problem with anything. It was I really thought I this was it was just remarkable. I guess that's the best word, remarkable, because in today's world, it's rare. It's very rare.
Right.
So
Right.
we always felt like we could trust them, and they cleaned up after each day, and they were very personable, the entire crew, and they were always measuring things and every detail, and even our sales rep was here, a week later, and he was looking at a few things he wanted them to touch up that he just noticed, and it was so minute. I didn't notice anything. My husband said the same thing, and he said, "Oh, I just this little corner." Oh, well, so they came. But, I mean, it was
Wonderful.
every little, he has a good eye for things, and they all do. They make sure that what they're doing is quality work, and I was so happy.
That's so good to hear. When you look at the finished roof and siding, what stands out most to you about the quality of New Heights work?
I d Well, I really appreciated the pictures that they took with the drone, before and after, and they are very professional. They just know what they're doing, and they're so efficient. They don't waste time. I mean, they're always, so busy. I mean, I was so impressed. I probably said that too many times, but I just think that they went over and above, a lot of companies, just, that personal service is so important nowadays, and the trust factor. I really you can't say enough about New Heights roofing and siding, and it was just a wonderful. I would do it all over. You
I'm
know,
glad you had fun with it.
oh, yeah, and when they left, it was so quiet the next week. It was like the family's gone. It was different, but I mean, we made friends, and it was just, very enjoyable, everything
Good,
about
good.
it. So we're real happy.
Now, from the moment that you decided to go with New Heights and you signed the contract, how quickly were they out there to get your roofing and siding taken care of? Did it
Oh,
go
that
quickly?
that same week. I mean, they didn't insist on money down. Um, it was no pressure. I mean, they came. Michael knew all about the measurements, and he had things figured out right away. And they didn't put us on a schedule, for a month later. Like, I mean, they were here. They came that Monday. The following Monday, they were here in 2 days. It was incredible. So,
How many days did it take to do your roofing and siding?
oh, the roofing siding, I think they really got the majority of everything done in 4 days. It was amazing.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Was they're just I w I would just not worry about telling this the world about this company, because, um, it's good to be able to trust someone nowadays, um, and we were very happy. Um, and there was nothing we would change about the entire experience. So we're just very, very impressed.
Well, you said we talked a little bit about, since your roofing and siding were completed, how has that helped your peace of mind? And even it sounds like you've gotten lots of compliments.
Oh, yes. Just knowing that, that insulation, the correct insulation is under that siding. Um, the roof is secured, it's done the right way. There's a lot, especially when you get older, I think, like my husband and I. It's reassuring, to know that they really care and their workmanship, displayed it. So we're thrilled.
We're so glad. If a friend or a neighbor asked you about getting a new roof or siding with new heights, what will you tell them about your experience?
Already explained to quite a few of our neighbors that it was just a fabulous experience. There wasn't a waiting, what you didn't have to put money down, and you knew that they were going to be here on Monday. You didn't have to worry. It was just, they're just people you can trust. And that's the bottom line in this world. And they are professional. So happy.
That's so good to hear. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us and sharing your story. It's always great to hear what the process was really like from a homeowner's perspective. I do the scheduling, so it's so nice to hear. And that's why I do enjoy talking to people on the phone and getting them scheduled because I know these guys do a good job taking care of people.
Oh,
So if
they're
someone,
above
yes,
a
thank
good job. They are way above a job. They are
Thank you.
they are the best I have ever. I mean, there aren't any people that work harder than these men. I just can't say enough about them. They really care, and I'm so happy. If I had another roof, I would call New Heights.